Alright, well, just when you think things cannot get any worse, Paul Tassi tweets out a 1,600 word essay on why Marathon no longer has a chance. He says it's brutal, but I cannot see a path forward here. I'm very interested to see what Paul Tassi's opinion is. He's also made a video, so I think we'll check out the video as well. But yeah, before I read this, I just want to say, like, no one wants Bungie to fail. But the problem is they've racked up such a reputation now, which is basically whenever something Bungie related comes out, it's not a good thing. And it's kind of got to the point now when people think to themselves, when is enough enough? You know what I mean? And as someone that absolutely loves Bungie, and as someone that's been playing Bungie games for over a decade now, it's just sad. It really is just sad. At the end of the day, if you're a huge Destiny fan, and if you're just a huge Bungie fan in general, we all want the same thing, and that is for Bungie to succeed. But it's literally just got to the point now where people are just so fed up. And before I click on this, I just want to very quickly say, like, all of this stuff that's come out recently with the artist, and obviously with N squared, N2, whatever you want to call this person, with their stuff being absolutely plagiarized by one individual at Bungie, like, it just makes the entire team look bad, and it's just shit, because it's not the entire team's fault. That's just the long story of it. Like, there are people that are working at Bungie right now which are absolutely kicking themselves and just so frustrated. Everything that comes out about this damn company is always just so negative. It's never ever a positive thing. You've got the layoffs. People that are still working at Bungie right now literally watched the layoffs happen in front of them, and they literally go to work every day hoping that they're not the ones that get laid off. Then you get the plagiarism stuff, so the people that are innocent at Bungie also look bad for that as well, when it's actually not their fault entirely. It really is just sad, because I love the company and I'm just watching it go on a huge decline. But let's just see what Paul Tassi is saying and we'll go from there. So, it's just over from Marathon by Paul Tassi, senior contributor. Paul Tassi is quite reputable, so I do want to see what he says here. Obviously, there's a lot here, but let's just break it down. I'll zoom in for everyone here. All right, I've tried to put this off for a while now, giving Marathon the benefit of the doubt in terms of fixing what ails it and maybe snagging an audience that's large enough to make it at least sustainable. But no, it's over. I can't dispute this anymore. This has probably always been true, but the events of the past week have cemented it. I will get into the live stream and plagiarism and all that later, but this is a long list of what's gone wrong in the past, what's currently going wrong, and a future that does not look any brighter. The entire idea of this game was a mistake. Okay. That's brutal. Oh my god, I mean, he wasn't holding back, was he, when he said that? The entire idea of this game was a mistake. Bungie has said that this came from a bunch of them playing Tarkov a while ago, and I heard among that group, it was one good old boy in leadership who pushed to make this Bungie's biggest non-Destiny project. It was meant to be the rebirth of a strong IP for the studio, now under Sony, which assumed it would produce another hit like this. The game attempts to split the difference between casual players who may be new to the extraction shooters and existing hardcore extraction players it would like to pilfer from games like Tarkov. It will do neither, is what Paul Tassi says here. You are never going to make an extraction shooter that is casual enough, because the concept of being able to lose your loot, potentially your entire vault if you go on bad runs, is exhausting as you try to give the game and genre a chance. He brings up a good point there. I was having a conversation with Max recently, and both me and Max, we haven't played Marathon. We didn't get access to the keys or anything like that, so we're literally just going at this from a value of what we see online. And if I get a rare drop or even an exotic-esque type item in Marathon, I will grab that and it will be an exciting thing. And I'll be like, oh my god, yes, I got this thing. And I am never, ever, ever going to know exactly what it's like to use, because I would be too terrified to take that into a game in the fear of losing it. Like, that is just the long and short of it. I would have a really cool item that I will never use because I don't want to lose it. There's a lot of people that say, oh yeah, but that's the point. Well, that's trash if that's the point. Like, I don't know, you telling me, well, that's the point of the game. Okay? That's just a bad point then. I don't know, there needs to be some form of safety net for at least one or two of your items that you just don't want to lose, because imagine like getting this really cool gear and you're like, yes, finally I got it, and I've been playing the game for such a long time. And then in your immediate next game, you lose it. Well, that was short-lived, and it's a really terrible feeling for your player base. Moving on from that, Paul Tassi goes on to say, in addition to that, players will be losing all that gear and all the upgrades they've gotten in a season no matter what. Oh, I didn't know that. I didn't know that it's a guaranteed you lose everything on every seasonal update. That's not good. That may be how this genre functions, but it's not going to be attractive to many players that have not already played this genre. Yeah, I've not already played that genre, and you telling me that little detail there that I did not initially know about is an immediate turn off, and probably, yeah, I don't think I'll be diving into that. If I ever play Marathon, it'll just be 1 or 2 games that I don't take seriously, and then I'll move on to Borderlands 4, which comes out like a week later. It's probably even worse on the hardcore player end, with Tarkov players scoffing at how easy Bungie has made Marathon. Everything from gear looting to time to kill to double revives in combat. I've seen almost no established extraction shooter players that are eager to jump over to Marathon for anything but a trial run based on what they've seen and played. Moving on to gameplay now. And what we've seen and played is the next point. Neither are good. Either you've been an outside observer watching gameplay trailers and Twitch streams, that's me and Max, or you got into the closed alpha and played it for yourself. That's not me and Max. Yeah, that's another thing as well. They made it very clear that the closed alpha, closed beta, whatever the bloody hell it is, was going to be for North America only. Yeah, a lot of streamers outside North America obviously got the golden treatment, which is, I don't know, a little bit frustrating. Stick to your word, because it makes us other people feel less than what we are, like we don't matter to you. But anyway, the game feels uninspired. The shooting in Marathon is fine, but the experience doesn't compare to other titles from Bungie, which has produced some of the best feeling shooters of all time. Yep, Halo, Destiny. It feels like a slower version of Apex Legends with maybe 1 team fight per round, and in between, battling the UESC bots, which I do think can actually be fun in some instances. The idea that this is an extraction shooter that should use a hero model has not landed well at all. It seems woefully unbalanced, with full invisibility and wall hacks and things that should just not be in this genre. I cannot stand hunters in Destiny 2 right now, so the fact that you can go invis for an even worse amount of time in this game is not great. It destroys the idea of making a fully custom character like other games, something most players like. It feels like a solution where a problem did not exist. An experiment to make a game stand out, but it's just made it worse. That is brutal, Paul. Paul was going off on one. None of this was helped that at the exact same time, Marathon's alpha was interrupted by ARC Raiders Alpha, a much more traditional extraction shooter and a much better one by all accounts. It has more polish, more fun, more expected features found in extraction shooters. All you have to do is look at the fact that ARC Raiders' player count went up every single day of its alpha, whereas Marathon's almost always went down. By the end, it was a sub 20% of what it started with. And I said that as well. I said that in my last video with the whole plagiarism thing for N Squared's artwork, or Anti-Raw, I think the name is, that like their artwork, like all the hype was going around Marathon. Everyone had their keys, everyone was jumping in. Pretty much all you saw on Twitch was Marathon. Other streamers that don't even play Bungie games were playing Marathon, and it's like, yeah, I'm part of this. And then immediately it just went down and down and down. And people that have access to the game right now don't even jump in. People that literally have closed alpha access right now and can literally click play on Marathon right now do not click play. I wouldn't even be surprised if they've uninstalled, to be honest with you. I would not be surprised if you go to their Steam library right now and that play button is not highlighted. Anyway, he goes on to say that Twitch viewers even got worse, going from 150,000 at launch as big streamers tried it, crashing to 1 to 3,000 a few days later near the end, where big chunks of what might even be 1 or 2 Destiny streamers alone. Wow. 150,000 players down to 3k is like, that's scary. That's really scary. Future plans and price. It's not just how the game currently feels and plays, it's what it's apparently planning for the future. This was half the problem with the recent livestream, where sure, the vibes were bad with the recent plagiarism from the start, but hearing game director Joe Ziegler and others talk about it, the constant refrain was, we're looking about that, we're thinking about that. The bulk of the talk was about minor balance changes, shield health, backpack spawns, stack sizes, fraction differentiations. Asked to name the biggest issue they found coming out of the alpha, and Ziegler rattled off of a list of impossibly small issues. Hugely requested things like proximity chat and solos were hand-waved away and regulated to some possible future plan. Yeah, this whole ideology, what big game developers do now, where they're just like, yeah, let's not tell the player base all this information because we want them to find it out for themselves. Oh, we don't want to give away too much. Doesn't work anymore. That does not excite people. That doesn't make people go, oh, well, I'll stick around because I'm so excited. That makes people go, why are you not telling us that. Like, that would make us more excited, but okay. Bungie are literally shooting themselves in the foot. Alright, because the game ignores solos, that means you need to convince 2 friends to buy it, likely at an upcoming $40 price point. It is too late in development to switch to free-to-play, not that this genre is built for that anyway, but painfully few people have played this game and thought it was worth that price. Without a delay at launch, it will have 2 more heroes, some new weapons, and gear, and 1 or 2 more maps. That's it. It's a tiny amount of content for that price on top of a game that is, as of yet, is not very fun for most players. Bungie haven't actually confirmed the price just yet, so we don't know what that's going to be, but $40 does seem like quite a lot of money for something that you're not getting much for $40 if I'm just being honest. Like, and I cannot stand the idea of weapons and gear, like, oh, we're getting all this new stuff, weapons and gear, yeah, but it's all going to be taken away from you anyway. I'm all for a guy that likes to go in with his character, with his loadout, and grab new gear and extraction out. You want to know what game did the extraction stuff really good, aside from Tarkov? Like a game that I've actually played, The Division. The Dark Zone in The Division felt really fucking good. Alright, moving on to the big one now. He talks about the plagiarism. Now, we arrive at the massive controversy of art theft, the revelation that a supposed ex-Bungie artist outright stole a large amount of art from Anti-Real, an artist with a portfolio extremely similar to the Marathon vibes. I love how they say in their article, or not like Paul Tassi stuff, but in the tweet, an ex-Bungie artist. This makes me feel like that they found out about this, and before they made a public statement, they just straight up fired the person who did this. Like, I'd love to actually know what the exact definition of ex-Bungie artist actually means. Does that mean they used to work on Marathon before and now they just don't because they moved on to better things? Or is it, oh, we found out about this situation and before we make a public statement, you are fired? I think this is a deliberate type of wording from Bungie because, I don't know, maybe to them it makes it sound better because them being an ex-Bungie artist means that it won't be a future issue and that they've kind of already remedied the issue. I don't know, but I do feel like that wording is specific for us as the reader. Anyway, he then says, and we are not talking about inspired by, these are pieces of art, one-to-one rips to the point where Bungie has to audit its entire game to see how many of these there might be. I guarantee you they miss a few things as well. During the live stream, they couldn't even show the game because it was being torn apart internally for this process. That's so sad. That is just so sad, especially for all the developers that are working at Bungie right now and haven't participated in plagiarism and have literally poured in hours and hours and excitement and hype for them building this project that they are probably really proud of, and it just gets absolutely shit on by this one person. And it's just fucking shit how one person can ruin it for a group of people that genuinely actually care. Because like when you say Bungie as a collective, it's immediately a negative thing, but there are people that work at Bungie right now which are absolutely fantastic people that absolutely love what they do, that absolutely do not mean no harm, that absolutely do things by the book and just want to make a cool fucking game. And then you get one fucker like this who just completely ruins it for everyone as a collective. And now when you just even so much as hear the name Bungie, you immediately go, oh, fuck me, what's next? It's just crap, you know what I mean? I feel bad for the people at Bungie. He then says, within a matter of hours, as this began to spread virally, Bungie issued out a statement saying that it was a former Bungie artist who included the decals in a texture sheet that ultimately went into the game. The issue was supposedly unknown by the existing art team, but obviously many questions have been raised about all of this as Bungie continues to investigate. Okay, the narrative spread as players realized that a number of Bungie artists, including art director Joseph Cross, followed Anti-Real for years. It's likely true that Marathon's overall style came from any number of sources from years or decades past, though this fact, along with the direct lifting from Anti-Real, exploded into theorizing that this was a larger problem on my end too for a time. But even if the entire soul of Marathon wasn't taken from the artist, art director Joe Cross and members of his team allowed this massive portfolio of plagiarism to make it through from being stolen allegedly 5 years ago to being plastered all over the current build of the game. Mass incompetence. I said this in my video. It's so unfortunate. I literally say in my video, this is the TLDR. Bungie have been done for plagiarism before. They say in their latest tweet that they're going to make a bigger effort at combating this so that it doesn't happen again. Why are you in the position where you're now going to do more now that this has happened when you've been done for plagiarism in the past? Surely if you've been done for plagiarism in the past, by the way, not just one, but multiple accounts of plagiarism in the past, surely these checks should already be in place so that this doesn't happen again. It really just goes to show that it doesn't matter if you put these checks in place now, you're clearly not consistent with it because it happens again and again and again. Consistency is key, and it just ain't there. You could put in these checks right now for plagiarism for this time now, and it's just not going to be consistent because, again, you've been done in the past, and you haven't kept it consistent, otherwise this wouldn't have happened. This has slit the throat of Marathon. Oh god, that's that's quite a verb. That is quite a brutal adjective right there. This has slit the throat of Marathon. The one thing Marathon had going for it was its unique art style and cool vibes, and now it will be impossible to bring that up without the plagiarism being referenced. Memes were instantly born during the apology portion of the livestream, including plagiarism will make me god, and the renaming of Marathon to Art Raiders that's going to stick forever. That's the unfortunate fact, and again, you've got a lot of hardworking developers right now that literally poured their blood and soul into this game that sadly are not part of all of this that's going on right now. And they are also being kind of stabbed in the back as well, and it's just vile. There is no escaping this. Not that vibes were good before, but they are dismissal now, with Marathon a laughingstock after this happened, or even worse, outright anger that this was allowed to take place in the game, and players refusing to play and support the game as a result. Yeah, you are going to get people that just look at this now and they're like, yep, you know what? That's me done now. I'm out. A delay. Marathon will not fundamentally change enough to be attractive to most players. Community sentiment will not change enough to turn things around on that end, and a delay does not significantly change any of this, but it may be the only option. I mean, I don't know, like, what is a delay actually going to do? Like, they've been making Marathon now for 5 years. Are they going to change the entire art style? They're going to change the, like, what change is going to be beneficial of a delay? Like, I know some people are saying to delay it. I just don't understand what that's going to do. I like delay it so that things calm down over time. Like what are you going to fundamentally change in your delay if you do one that's going to make players go, that's the game for me now? It would be impressively stupid to actually release this game in 4 months given both these recent events and that we're only seeing a small amount of new content and some balance and visual polishing for launch. But you simply cannot cancel this game at this point after over 5 years of work, even if it should have died ages ago. Sony alone would never allow that. Yeah, and also the fact that Bungie just had like a huge amount of layoffs, and I feel like that if they cancel this game and just completely sack it off, then that's going to result in more layoffs, and the people that didn't deserve this treatment and the people that work on Marathon that just aren't involved in this at all whatsoever should not be in a position whereby they now feel like that they're going to lose their job over this. Because I feel like if you cancel the game, that's exactly what's going to happen. And yeah, people should not have to pay the price just because one fucking absolute moron twat decided to do something so utterly stupid. Oh, it blows my mind. It's such a basic thing and you just did it. Such a basic thing. Fuck me. It just bothers me so much because like this is just such an easy thing to avoid. Not copying someone and not taking someone's work is such an easy thing to do. I just can't fucking stand it, man. Give me 1 second. He then goes on to say, a delay is the only real option, but I don't think it changes enough to be useful. Yeah, I agree. It will create distance from the current awfulness. Again, I said that. But I have not seen nothing to indicate this is going to be some transformative rebirth. The core concept of a hero shooter extraction game will not change. It will not erase the plagiarism that happened. Yeah, exactly that. Delaying the game however many months does not remove the memories that are going to be stored in people's minds of this game. That's just the unfortunate reality. Unavoidable failure. I've previously said that Marathon will not be Concord 2.0. While I still technically believe that, it's more of a matter of just how badly this will fail. Not whether it will fail at all. I do not expect it to get 700 concurrent Steam players like Concord, nor be scrapped in 2 weeks by Sony, but it will not do well. That is set in stone right now, barring some sort of miracle airdrop of players and goodwill from the heavens. It's so unfortunate, and if I was working at Bungie right now and I was reading all of this and I just knew that like I was working on something that is inevitably going to fail, I would feel so fucking shit. I would be shitting myself if I'm honest with you. With all the layoffs that Bungie are notorious for doing, with all the bad management from leadership and above, from all the bad press, from all the bad PR, from all the bad coverage from online articles like this and YouTubers and streamers, I would be looking at this and I would be thinking, yep, time to find a new job. because I'm either gonna get sacked or this is not gonna go well either way. Like, it's just so, I feel so fucking bad for them, man. Anyway, this will hurt Bungie and its actually healthy child, Destiny. There will be layoffs, I hope not. There will be Sony takeover of leadership as they bail out with millions invested cash. The only thing I don't believe will happen is the complete dissolution of Bungie, as that would be a bridge too far in terms of Sony being embarrassed a storied brand has collapsed under its tenure. One, they paid $3.6 billion for it. It would also be a horrible look to immediately kill another game like they did with Concord, and Marathon will be given some time to fix and improve things. I don't think any amount of time will be enough though. I realize this is an utterly brutal article. It's the longest one I've written in ages, but at this point there's no doubt the writing is on the wall and it is disingenuous to ignore that. I will continue to cover the game. If good things happen, I'll write about that. And if bad things keep happening, I'll write about that too. But I think it's overwhelmingly bad things from here. Paul Tassi went in on that. Let me just very quickly see how long his video actually is, and obviously that depends on whether or not I watch it. It's 28 minutes long. To be honest with you, I probably am not actually gonna watch this. I think the article, it definitely makes the point clear, right? Anyway, I think we're gonna close it off there. It really is unfortunate because Marathon was gonna be Bungie's next big thing, and from the very, very beginning, it was set to fail. The moment Bungie announced that they were doing an extraction shooter, it got some bad press. Then when they did the closed beta or the closed alpha testing way before the community even got their hands on it, they got told that it was boring and it wasn't fun enough. Then you had that huge influx of players that came out with your actual closed beta or closed alpha, sorry, and players have dropped off almost immediately. There are people that literally have access to the game right now and they're just choosing not to play it, or they've probably even uninstalled it. But yeah, again, my heart just goes out to the many, many individuals at Bungie that have literally poured their hard-working hours, hearts, and soul into this game that are not involved in any of the negativity or plagiarism that has taken part with this game, and they're just being shit on right now. And it's so shit because, again, people hear the name Bungie and they immediately get a bad taste in their mouth, and it's just not an accurate representation of all the amazing individuals that currently work at Bungie right now. So my heart goes out to them. I really, really hope that things turn around. Obviously, based on Paul Tassi's article, it doesn't look like it's going to happen. He's basically writing a whole entire article saying how it's just not salvageable. And yeah, it's sad. Extraction shooters aren't even really my thing. Like, I love Bungie, I love Destiny, but I can only really see myself playing like one or two of these games and just moving on back to Destiny, and even playing Borderlands 4 that comes out 1 week later. Just like a couple days earlier, sorry. But yeah, guys, let me know your thoughts and opinions in the comment section below. What's your thoughts on the situation? What's your thoughts on Marathon? Do you think you will avoid it now like some people are doing? Or do you think you will give this game a go? I'd be interested to know how you actually feel about this. But yeah, guys, thank you so much for your time, and I will see you in the next one. Take care, everyone. Peace.